party is a great way to celebrate a special occasion or get to know your in-laws, co-workers, or even your employer on a more personal level. Nailing the proper table setting for a formal dinner is crucial and may take some preparation. The table setting can be broken down into three main categories: staple items like plates or napkins, which I forgot to lay out, glassware, and utensils. Knowing how to set up a proper table setting will impress your guests and leave you knowledgeable of table etiquette when you are a guest at a dinner party. So the first and the center of the setting is the main plate, which is also known as the service or charger plate. This plate will serve as the underplate for any courses served before the entree, and once the entree comes out, this plate will be exchanged for the plate with the entree on it. So like I said, this one will be placed in the center right in front of the guest. The next plate is much smaller, and the bread plate, which is obviously used for bread, and should be placed to the left of the setting right above the forks. Okay, and then the napkin, which I forgot to get out, but everybody knows what a napkin looks like, there's three main options for napkin placement. You can sort of fan it out, if you can picture like a fan, and you can place it inside the water goblet. And this is useful if there's already a soup bowl or a salad plate on top of the charger plate when the guest sits down. You can also fold it into a neat rectangle and place it on top of the plate, or you can place it to the left of all the forks on the left side of the setting. So, like I briefly mentioned with the napkin, there could also be a soup bowl or a salad plate on top of the charger plate before the guests arrive, depending on the first course. So now, on to glassware. The largest glass will generally be a water goblet, and it's placed to the to the right of the setting, right above the knives. This is something important to remember because a lot of times when you sit down, the settings will be crammed in together, and it's hard to tell which glass is yours, so it'll always be to the right. And then all the succeeding glasses will be placed in order from smallest to largest. So the glasses I have here are for red and white wine, respectively. Other glasses you could have out on the table are a champagne flute, which will be placed in between the water goblet and the wine glasses. You could also have a sherry glass or glasses appropriate for different kinds of beer. The last part is the utensils, which is by far the trickiest. We'll start with the most obvious one, the butter knife, which is generally a very simple knife like this one. It's placed diagonally along the butter plate with the bottom part down towards the guest and the blade also facing down. And then for the rest of them, I find it easiest just to work from left to right. So all the forks will be placed on the left side. The main fork, the dinner fork, will be placed in the middle on the left side, and all the other forks will be placed to the right or left, depending on the order of the courses. This will generally be the largest fork, so you know to use it with your main entree. Next to the right of that will be a smaller fork. This is the salad fork used for the salad, and that's placed to the right or sometimes on top, depending on the order of the courses. And then if fish is planned, there will be another small fork, and this one's placed farthest to the left of the dinner fork, and it's generally a little smaller too. So on to knives. The knife closest to the charger plate will be your main entree dinner knife. It could be a simple knife like this, or it could be a steak knife if steak is planned. The second knife will be smaller and usually duller. This one's planned for fish. An important thing to remember with the knives is that the blade should face in towards the charger plate. Next to the knives, you'll have any spoons needed for soup or fruit or something like that. And then I don't have one here, but if you're planning on serving shellfish, you'll need a small oyster fork, and that will all be placed to the right of the spoons. So there you have it, a proper dinner placement setting. This knowledge will serve you well as a hostess or a guest at a dinner party. With a little bit of practice, you can master all three of the components of a proper table setting. And once you've picked out your meal, the proper staple items, glassware, and utensils will set the table and the mood for a lovely evening.